Morning, everybody. Welcome to this talk about making a decision. And I hope we're not going to have any technical problems today because I've just been having some before I actually went live. So apologies if anything weird happens, but I will get on without further ado while things are looking good. So making a decision, we have to make decisions all the time in our lives, and some of them are very minor, like what we're going to have for breakfast. Some of them are major, like whether we're going to change our career, excuse me, or move to a different location. Sorry, I've got the coughs as well this morning. Oh dear, not a good start. So I thought that it would be helpful to just talk through how some of us make decisions and some ways that you could do that for yourself. There are various different methods that you could try. We probably all have a natural decision-making style. You know, you might be somebody who always likes to weigh up the pros and cons before you make a decision. You might be somebody who just goes with it, whatever it is. Or, you know, you might be somebody who's quite adventurous, who always chooses the exciting, the different option. So, but if you're facing a really big decision, then it can help sometimes to know different ways in which to approach it, which is what I'm going to talk about. So the first one is the one that I've already alluded to, which is simply to list the pros and cons as you see them of whatever it is that you're trying to make the decision about. You get a piece of paper, you list all the pros, you list all the cons, and then the theory is that you go with whichever list is longest. The problem is that often our gut instinct will then kick in and actually go against whatever the pros and cons list is telling us, which tells you something in itself. But that is one way of doing it. That's kind of the rational, the logical approach, if you want to call it that. The next one is just to go with your gut instinct, whatever. You know, if you've got a strong feeling in your gut that it's something you should or shouldn't do, then, you know, you can go with that. The other couple of methods that I am going to talk about, they involve getting into your body rather than going around things in your head, which is what we usually try and do, or what we usually sort of default into doing when we're trying to think about making a decision, particularly if it's a big one. You know, we will go round and round and round all the pros and cons in our heads often. But getting into our body can be a really good indicator of the way in which the decision should go for our highest good. So the first one is actually called a body test, and all that you do is to take some quiet time, sit yourself down somewhere where you won't have any distractions. You know, your phone's either on silent or it's in a different room and nobody's going to disturb you. And you just ask yourself the question, whatever that is. So I'll use the one that I use with my clients, which is, should I leave law? Should I leave my legal career? And then as soon as you've asked yourself that question, which doesn't have to be out loud, it can be internally, you notice how you feel in your body. Now, if your first response is to feel really excited and relieved, then you know that that is the way that that decision should go. So, you know, should I leave law? I feel really excited, I feel relieved. The answer is yes. If, on the other hand, your body straight away feels a bit sort of contracted and a bit twisted inside, you've got that resistance, then the answer to your question is no. But it's really important that you do listen to and take note of that first reaction that your body makes when you ask yourself that question, because our minds will quickly kick in and start giving us all the old arguments for why we should either stay or go. And usually if it's about leaving an established situation, the mind says stay because it wants to keep you safe, which for the mind involves sticking with what's already in existence. But the point is that our bodies never actually lie, our minds do. So if we listen to our body, we know that that's what's right for us. So the next method that I wanted to talk about is, it's actually quite similar in the sense that it's about your body's reaction, but it does it a different way. And it's going to sound flippant because it's about tossing a coin. And I know you're probably thinking, well, I can't possibly make a decision that's so important in my life based on the toss of a coin. But wait until I tell you the next step of it. So all you have to do, again, sit yourself quietly somewhere where you won't be distracted. You ask the question, you know what your question is. Maybe this time it's, should I move to that new location? And you decide which side of the coin is yes and which side is no, whether that's heads or tails. And then you simply toss the coin and see where it lands. But then what's most important is your body's reaction to where it lands. Because if, for example, your question is, should I move to this new location? And the coin lands on no, but you immediately feel that sort of contracted, restricted feeling, then you know that actually your inner self wanted the answer to be yes, which gives you the answer in itself. Whereas if the coin lands with the answer, that makes you feel really excited in yes, that's the one you want, then, that just reinforces what it is that you want to do. So it's all about your body's reaction. The tossing a coin is just a tool to generate that reaction in your body. But as I say, listen and take note of your body's reaction before the mind starts kicking in with all its objections, because it will do that. And those are not what you're trying to listen to in this scenario. If you want to go with the mind's decision, then that's really the pros and cons list. But I highly recommend going with, your body's reaction, so the body test or the tossing a coin test, because that will tell you what your inner self really wants to do, and that will be the thing that's right for you. And then just an addition to that, which is to say that whatever decision you do make, know that it will never be wrong, because that's what's right for you in that moment, at that stage of your journey. And if down the line it proves that, I was going to say it doesn't prove to be wrong, which was what I was about to say. If down the line it no longer feels right for you, is a better way of putting it, then you can always course correct and, go back to the previous scenario, or, the opposite answer to the one that you came up with. So try not to stress too much about making the decision. Usually if you go with your body, you go with what it's telling you, that's going to be the right one for you. And as I say, if down the line you find out that you think, actually, I'm not sure about this, maybe I need to go a different path, then fine, just go a different path. Nothing's been lost. So I hope that helps a little. I am actually, this month's blog that I'm hoping to pop on my website in the next couple of days will go into making a decision in more detail. And there's an additional test as well that I don't have time to tell you about today. So look out for that. I will post about it once it's on the website, and you can maybe take a look there and have a read. So, as I say, I hope you found that helpful. I hope you have a great day, and I'll be back here again next Tuesday. They seem to come around ever faster. So bye for now.